The old rule of thumb in MS was you're diagnosed and in 10 years you're in a wheelchair. In 2009, November 2009, I was training for the Florida Ironman down in Panama City, Florida. So I went into the race, and the swim was a 2-loop swim. I came out of the first loop to run across the beach to start the second loop, and couldn't feel my legs. They cramped up, and I hit the beach, fell down, and just assumed it was from the swim. And then throughout the whole race, it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. So that's the first time I felt it. I just assumed it was just the pain from the race. And it wasn't until February of 2011 that I finally had it checked out. They did a diagnostic test on me, put me through an MRI to check my brain and my spine. And the doctor very quickly came to me and said, you have MS? And his response to me was, don't worry though, all my patients live pretty much normal lives with MS. So my response was, define normal. And his answer to me was, you'll probably have to find a new normal. The way doctors look at MS now is different than the way they looked at it, say, 20 years ago. They used to tell you to go home and just rest, don't do anything. Now, they're more in line with what I do. Not to the extremes that I do maybe, but their approach is, we want you moving. For me, that's kind of where my mantra, which is every step beats MS. It sounds like a physical step, but it's not just, it's a thought. It's trying to move as much as you can to improve. After MS, I tried to keep doing Ironman triathlons, and once my foot started to get bad and the MS progressed and gave me the minor foot drop, it made running impossible for me. Since I couldn't run, I compensated that with cycling, and that got me into the really long ultra distance type training. When COVID hit and lockdown came down and we couldn't ride together with anybody else, I decided I was going to social distance by doing long rides. I did 1 or 2, and then I did a third one, and before I knew it, I had probably 4 or 5 100+ mile rides in a row over those weekends. And I had this thought in my mind, all the events were canceled, and I usually like to do an event or 2 every year to raise awareness for MS. I figured maybe it'd be cool to start this streak and keep me focused throughout the lockdown periods and find a way to use it to raise awareness for MS and use that for my future fundraising that I was going to do later in the year. Yeah, so once it became an official streak to me, and I made it public on social media so I couldn't back out, everybody knew, my coach, Gene Caffrey from Tyler Hamilton Training, said, let's take it to the end of the year. And got through some of the weather and through the winter, and we finished. 2020 was over, and then he said to me, we got to go for 52. Let's just make it a full year. And of course, it didn't take any convincing for me, and I went, yep, let's do it. It became 52 was the number, and hopefully I'll stop after that. I try and post after all my big events with real kind of inspiring messages and happy looking pictures at the finish of the ride, and I get feedback from people telling me that I've inspired them and that you don't know how many people you inspired, and some people come back to me and start asking questions. It's just about connecting, because with MS, we like to say we're all in this together. So what I'm doing, when I can get feedback from people and we get connections going, it helps us all work through this fight together. You're out there and you're hurt, there's someone else that might be hurting more than me, or I can help them get through something, so I show them I did it, it's great. I've had people that I check in with and I wake up, I don't feel like working out, and I look on Twitter or Instagram and someone's over in the other side of the world and they've done their workout already. I'm like, oh, okay, I can do it too. So we all kind of connect that way, and it helps me, and I know that I've helped them.